Here we go. So we have put together 3 examples. And again, you'll get this annual planner. It'll be blank. You won't have all these red X's or the dates filled in or anything like this when you go to do it. But we'll also share with you these 3 examples because here's the beauty of it. You get to customize your plan to make it work how you want to. You get to select the activities that you're comfortable with and the ones that fit your personality. So you really get to make it your own and do the things that you're interested in. We just help you do it in a much easier and organized fashion. Now, you can maximize this program, and that's what this top plan looks like. We'll also take a look at one that's the kind of medium of the row in terms of effort, and then one that's at your basic minimum effort. However, it fits you. Some things might be easier if you have an administrative staff, you can do more. If you're operating all on your own and building to that, maybe you're doing more on the minimum side of things to try to grow. But remember, you get out what you put in. So if you're really going for that $20 million level, you're going to want to make sure that you are maximizing your effort in this program. So if we take a look at this example here, let's go right on down the list and we'll zoom right in on January. You can see we have multiple columns here and we provide you with ideas for reasons to call, emails, texts, mail, postcard, client events, client pop-bys. There's even social media you can access. Let's just talk about one of these things and then I'll give you an overview of how we maximize this plan and we'll scroll down to some of the other ones as well. So January. Here we selected market update call. Now, all this annual market update call is just a call to those people and say, hey, you know what? I am sending out an update. You'll get it in the mail soon. It's going out today. Keep an eye out for it. It's going to cover everything that happened in real estate in our area, the different price points, the changes in values, a very detailed plan. I just want you to know it's coming so you can keep an eye out for it. This gives you a reason to call them, connect on the phone, have a short chat about the new year as well. And it's a really simple and easy voicemail. So if you only get a voicemail for them to let them know. And this is going to be huge because that means that letter is much more likely to get opened and looked at and add that additional value. In the email and text section, just a simple New Year's email or text. You can send it, both email or text, just the text form of it, or you can take that template and you can read it as a video script. Highly recommend that as an extra bonus to make that extra connection and send it as a text message. Then moving over to mail and postcards, you'll see on every single month we got birthday and home anniversary cards selected. Here's the reason why. We want you to go into our resources, download from the annual resources, the birthday card, the home anniversary cards, the thank you cards, all these things. Write them out now in the beginning of the year, in the early part of the year. Have it all done by the end of January and file it away in folders for each month. So when that month comes and you're busy in May selling houses, you're busy in June selling houses, you just grab that file folder and you have all of your birthdays ready to go, all of your home anniversaries, and you don't miss a beat. So take advantage of the time that you have now to execute those. And that's why it's checked off on every single month in this program here. If we keep on moving along, we take a look at the client events, and you can see these are divided up quarterly. If I zoom out a little bit and scroll down, you can see there's 4 different sections for client events with suggestions on each. Now, we want you to pick what event you're going to do, put a date down, make a decision, and make a decision on a budget, and then go access the standard operating procedure from the resources and start planning that event. A quick note on each one of these, you'll see there's different stars at the end of the events, and that talks about the complexity of each event. So a movie event's going to be one of the easier ones. A bowling event's going to be a little more intense on the complexity, whereas something like a charity fundraiser is going to be high on the complexity level of what you're going to need to do to get it all set up. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about quarterly, what it is that you're going to do. And oh, by the way, a lot of the other elements on the monthly can be used in conjunction with those events. So whether it's invites that are getting sent out via text, via mail, phone calls, they can work in conjunction together. So think about that as you're planning out your monthly events. or activities. And then the client pop by gifts. These can be things that every single quarter you do something. In this instance, we give 5 different suggestions. If you get into the resources, there's actually 10 different suggestions per quarter, something that's going to fit you, fit your personality, fit your sphere. And you can notice in this example, we again put a date, we put a budget to it, and you can notice we put 25 after it. So if we have 50 people we're working with, we're only going to deliver 25 of these to half of the group. Maybe that just fits their personality better. Maybe it's a gift that fits for a family. Maybe it's a gift that fits for empty nesters, whatever it might be. So think about that. And this program for this example is set up where, hey, twice a year, they're getting a gift from us of some sort of fashion, because we're doing 25 each quarter. So if we have 50 people, they'd each get a gift twice a year. So that's kind of your max plan. You can set it up however you want, but about that amount of activity is going to really maximize your plan. You can see examples for a more medium level plan. In this instance, we knocked it down to where we just have 2 events a year, one in the second quarter, one in the fourth quarter, and then we offset that in the first quarter and the third quarter with some gifts to our entire group of fans. We've also reduced down some of the activities accordingly. For each month, we're not having as many events. There's not as many invites going out, all of those things. And so it simplifies that a little bit and reduces down some of the work. And then finally, your minimum plan here, you can see we just have 1 event. We have 2 sets of gifts, and we've really reduced down the activities. There's still things are going on consistently, but not to the level of our max plan. That again might be better if somebody has an admin that can help execute on some of those things. Now, here's a note. If you're only going to choose one thing, just one thing from all of this, here's what I highly, highly recommend is make sure you are doing an annual preferred vendor and contractor list. And here's why. It adds so much value to your potential homeowners. So you can see it's up here. There is a vendor list up in February. Now here's how this system works. Is we call in February and we contact our clients and say, hey, you know what, I'm putting together my annual vendor list. I'm just wondering if you've had any service providers lately at your home or that you've worked with that have just been excellent. I'd really love to add them to my list so I continue to build a great list. And then you get those responses, you get those referrals, and then you contact that vendor as well to let them know, hey, I'm adding you to my preferred vendor list. I got a great review from client, Mr. and Mrs. Bob over here, and they just said you were fantastic. I would love to be able to recommend you to my other clients. And you start to build that relationship with these vendors. And now your existing vendors that you already know and already work with, make sure you call them as well and let them know that you're sending this out to all of their people. And we have a great dialogue and a great script in the membership site that's going to talk you through this and talk you through how to build more referrals from that preferred vendor list so that those business owners start sending referrals to you as you're sending referrals to them, and you create that strong referral partnership. Outside of your just 50 fans, this is in addition to that, all of these well-connected business owners in your community. And it's a huge, huge source of business for you. So if you're only going to choose one thing, you got to get in there and you got to do the preferred vendor and contractor list.